As Charlie came to comfort Vaggie, Vaggie was alone. Vaggie was scared. After she spared that child, they threw her away like she was garbage. As Charlie would then hug her and start to take care of her. But just then, Vaggie would have a flashback of being attacked. As Vaggie would grab her angelic dagger and attack Charlie. Charlie was shocked as she fell to the floor. Charlie could have easily dodged it or blocked it, but her guard was down. As Vaggie would call out to Charlie, Charlie was no more. As Vaggie just simply sat there shocked. Vaggie was completely shocked. She never met the princess, but she knew of her. She'd heard of her, and she knew that was her. She was casted away, an outcast of heaven, and the princess could have helped her find a new stand in here. But she just destroyed her. All of that was just, gone. She didn't really know what to do or say. She just stared at Charlie until she got up and left. A few days would pass as Vaggie would still be shocked that she did this. As Vaggie was out there, on the run, trying to find a place to stay, we cut to Lucifer. Lucifer was in his house as he would get a knock on the door. As he opened it, he would hear terrible news. As it was his daughter. His daughter perished. Lucifer was shocked. His own daughter gone. As he would simply sit down, as the imps were messengers who told him, Lucifer would simply stare at them, not knowing what to do, not knowing what to say. As then he simply bursted out into tears and ran, as he needed to see this for himself, as they would show him Charlie's body. As then he would simply say, "I'll get whoever did this to you," as his eyes would fill with anger, as he would scream at the sky. As Lucifer was filled with anger, he wanted to get revenge. He wanted to avenge his daughter. He wanted to see who did this. As we cut to Vaggie, Vaggie would be trying to make ends meet, as she didn't know anyone down here, as she would try to get a job as a mercenary, but it was, kind of hard to start off, until eventually Vaggie would find a job to take down a hellhound. His name was Vortex. Now, Vortex wasn't really anything special. He was just the guard of, a pop star. Vaggie didn't even know why he wanted him taken down. Maybe it was some sort of test. Whatever it was, it paid quite a good bit of money. So Vaggie would wait for Vortex to go home. As Vortex went home and started to get in bed, she would then sneak in stealthily. As Vortex himself would hear something, as Vaggie got closer and closer to his bed, even though she was stealthy, hellhounds had a great sense of hearing, as he would stand up and get out his fist, as he would say, "Who the F are you?" As Vaggie would say, "I'm the one here to destroy you." As Vortex would start to throw fist out, he would punch Vaggie, sending her flying, as then he would jump on her and begin to bite her, as Vaggie would sense all of the anger, sense all of the pain, and use it to make her stronger, as then she would cut Vortex down. With Vortex being no more, Vaggie could continue her job, as she got new and new mercenary work. As she was starting to build a name and a reputation for herself, she would make sure to always wear a disguise and try to make sure no one knew she was an exorcist. As then we cut to Lucifer. Lucifer had a task force looking for who did this to his daughter. But angelic weapons don't really leave marks, and their magic doesn't let you leave fingerprints, so Lucifer was active in the dark. However, after losing his daughter, he wanted these exorcisms to stop. He didn't care about the sinners, but to keep the people down here that got rid of his daughter, that was, kind of below the belt and messed up, as Lucifer would meet up with Adam. As Adam and Lucifer would start to talk, Adam would say, "How do you know an exorcist did it?" As Lucifer would say, "There was no fingerprints, which means it has to be an angelic weapon." As Adam said, "Crap, we'll look into this." As Lucifer would nod, we cut to Adam and Lute, as they look into all of their teammates. They couldn't believe someone would do this. Everyone was accounted for, except for Adam would say, "Do you think it was a reject?" As then Adam would say, "It has to be someone we threw out, right?" "Who was," as then he would get the idea, "You threw out Vaggie that night, didn't you?" As Lou would nod, "It must be her, but we don't have any proof. We'll make a task force, search for her, and try to get proof." Adam and Lou would then nod, as then we cut back to Vaggie. As Vaggie was finishing another job, she went to collect her paycheck, as then she started to drink at the local bar. As Husk would say, "Huh, you look excited." Vaggie would then look up and look at Husk and say, "Well, You seem pretty happy for being under someone's leash, as in Husk would get a little upset. Vaggie would just laugh and say, I did a big job, a huge job. I made a lot of money from it, you know? But I can't retire because, well, I just love the thrill of the game. Husk would say, that's gonna get you in trouble eventually. Vaggie would say, probably. But for now, as suddenly Alastor would appear. As Alastor would show up, he would look at Vaggie. Vaggie would back away. This was the radio demon, and he hasn't been in hell for a long time. Many people thought he perished in an exorcism, but he was alive. But Vaggie knew all that. She knew that Alastor owned Husk's soul because she loved Husk as a bartender, and Husk would give her leads on jobs. As then Vaggie would pull out her weapon, she would say, what are you doing? Alastor would say, I have a job for you. As Vaggie and Alastor would look at each other, Vaggie was skeptical of Alastor. However, Vaggie was in it for the thrill of the game, and she heard that Alastor had an old gentleman-like code. That doesn't mean he was a good guy, but the chivalry system does mean he wouldn't mess with her. As Vaggie would say, what is it? Someone's tough. I need your help to take down. Vaggie would nod as they would agree. As then after that, Alastor would meet up with Lilith. As Alastor and Lilith would look at each other, Lilith would go, so, you have the plan set in motion. Alastor would say yes. As Lilith and Alastor both began to walk, you know, I wasn't too keen on helping Lucifer, but she's still my daughter. And if this would tee things over, I want you to make sure that she meets her end. As then Lilith would grab Alastor's shoulder. I know you want freedom, but if you double-cross me, Alastor would gulp and say, it's fine. I know. As then she would leave, as Alastor then would walk off. As Alastor left, eventually a week would pass as he would meet up with Vaggie. As Vaggie would look at Alastor, excited for the next job, Alastor would say, are you ready? As then Vaggie would nod, as they would both walk out. As Alastor and Vaggie would go into a dark alleyway. Vaggie would then pull out a weapon. As she would say, this is a trap, isn't it? As she would try to attack Alastor, Alastor would dodge and push her away. As then Lucifer would fly towards her, angry, as Vaggie would say, listen, it's not. As suddenly Lucifer started to punch Vaggie. Vaggie would grow out her wings and throw a spear at him, but he would dodge. Vaggie knew that her life was, well, not looking too good right now. And there wasn't really a lot of good ways for this to end for her, if any at all. But Vaggie decided she would go down fighting. As Vaggie saw absolutely no chance of winning, no hope, no way to get out of this, she could simply just give up now and the outcome would be the same. But she didn't, because she had pride, and with that pride she would continue to fight. And as she fought with everything she had, it simply wasn't enough. Lucifer would tear her limb from limb until she fell to the floor. As Vaggie took one last breath, she said, I'm sorry. As then, Vaggie was no more. As Lucifer was walking out, he would see Lilith. As Lucifer and Lilith would walk together, Lucifer and Lilith would both look at each other. As Lucifer and Lilith would simply stare and stare. It's been so long since they've seen each other. Lilith wanted to argue, so did Lucifer, but they simply just walked away because their mission was done. As a month would come and it was Charlie's funeral, Lucifer would go up there and speak and say a few words. Lucifer would then say, Charlie was my sweet girl. She was always good to the people around her. She was kind, innocent, and was a dreamer like me. That's why she shared the last name Dreamer. As me and her, well, I wasn't really the best father. When I became depressed, I stopped talking to her. And I feel like it's my fault. If I was just there for her more, maybe this wouldn't have happened. I'll always miss you, Charlie. And because of you and your memory, the exorcism will never happen again. I'm sorry I let this happen. If I didn't let this happen, you would still be here. Goodbye, my daughter, forever. Too bad there's no afterlife, Lucifer would say as he joked, laughing before crying his eyes out. And that is where we're going to leave things off. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share with all your friends. Thank you so much for watching. Today is the last day that I'm on vacation. And I had a lot of fun today, I'm not going to lie. Today was pretty enjoyable. And I think that after this, I can get back to gaming for my gaming channel, which I've been easing to do. I have so many ideas for that one.
I hope I can get that one going. Also, there's been some videos have been hit, some have been missed, but through it all, you guys have been here for me. You've been watching me. You've been supporting me, and I appreciate every single one of you. And I want you to know that I love you. Also, I decided I want to ask, who's your favorite has-been character? Out of all of them, mine is Lucifer. He will always be my favorite. You know, he kind of pulls on your heartstrings. Charlie, you know, she's good too. Vaggie. Angel used to be my favorite for a long time. But I was coming to terms with who I was. Looking at Angel and stuff and imagining me being like him and imagining his struggle and how strong he was kind of really drew me towards him. But, yeah. Now, though, it's Lucifer because Lucifer is an absent father that tries to rekindle his relationship with his daughter and tries to be there for her, which kind of hits close to home for me. So, yeah, that's kind of why I really like Lucifer, honestly. So, yeah, let me know. Also, let me know how your day is going in the comments below. And hope you all enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share with all your friends. And let me know how your day is going. And, yeah. Also, before I go, I just want to say that I think I've been on vacation to a few different places, and this place is kind of nice. Do you guys like the beach? Because the beach, it could be fun, but sand just gets everywhere. It just gets so annoying sometimes, you know what I mean? I just don't like the sand part. The water's fun. I wish we had, like, grass and dirt near the ocean. That would be cool, instead of just all this terrible sand. Come on now, the sand ruins everything. I hate it. I hate the sand. The sand just destroys everything. Of course, if it was all grass and dirt, I guess maybe the ocean will be muddy. I don't know. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you all enjoyed watching it. I hope you all have an amazing day. And if you don't think anyone loves you, you're wrong, because I love each and every one of you. And I'm so grateful you're here. I'm so glad you're here. It means the world to me. Peace out.